Will Wight, probably unsurprisingly at this point, is a definite recommended author from me. I think he's both an excellent introduction to fantasy in general and a fun author to read if you already have an established love for fantasy. His works sit right at that point where they could be cataloged as young adult, but not be so young adult that a regular adult has a hard time enjoying them. The fact that he started out independent and turned out to be as good as he is was what actually inspired me to buckle down and finish writing my own book and put it out, though I'm not even trying to imply that I'm remotely on the same level as him. More to the point, independently published authors on Amazon had a bit of a stigma for a long time, and still do to purists that turn their nose up at ebooks. Mr. Wright is someone that would have absolutely been capable of being published the traditional way, but published independently at the start. This is also one of the reasons I chose to start with him. Good authors can start this way, and even if you don't succeed, you can't really know until you try. Wright has pretty handily demonstrated that there's zero reason to put off trying. As far as I'm aware, his success was pretty fast. Like, his first book sold really well enough for him to be able to actually dedicate the time to stay primarily writing. Alright, now to dive into the book series. Traveler's Gate. The Traveler's Gate trilogy is set in a universe where individuals get their magical powers by being connected to places called territories. For the most part, this has to be a connection they are born with. There are exceptions, like one of the main characters, but I'm not going to dive into too much detail there. These people are called travelers and are immensely more powerful than the average person. This was Wight's first series, that I'm aware of at least, and was very enjoyable. He said a few trends we'll see pop up in later works here, like having multiple protagonists and doing the whole alternating chapter scheme where, you rotate perspective between different characters as your book goes along. Relatively common techniques. But it also introduces us to another common theme in Wight's works, an attempt to twist a trope or a traditional writing method in an interesting way. With this series, the twist is that the main character is not the prophesied hero. There actually is another character that is discovered to be the prophesied hero, so you're actually seeing this book from someone adjacent to the prophesied hero in this story. Of course, the main character of the story still does end up following a lot of the tropes for the prophesied hero, but within that world, they are not perceived as being the hero.